What is up, friends? We are here very cold again today to talk about the last common reasons why women are failing at that long-term lifestyle change, our fitness goals, etc. To top it all off, guys, we're talking about our lack of support and accountability. And that is, in our previous reasons, that is kind of a more internal thing, how we have the all or nothing mindset. We're getting burnout mentally, emotionally, physically, etc. But this is more of an external thing of setting yourself up for success by having and choosing the people around you, guys. Whether it's your partner, your closest friend group, it really is true. You are who you surround yourself with. And the top 5 people that you can name that are in your inner circle right now, those are the people that are going to influence your now and your future. And we really need to evaluate if you are married, if you have a lifelong partner, you're in a serious relationship. What does that person's day-to-day lifestyle look like? And this is in regards to our overall health and wellness, guys. So this isn't, obviously, as I've stated in other videos, I'm not going to pretend to know your exact situation. But overall, when we choose to surround ourselves with these people, their decisions, their day-to-day lifestyle is going to affect your day-to-day lifestyle. And that's not just the physical things, that's your mental and emotional well-being, guys. We're tying this all in together with who are we surrounding ourselves with? Who is influencing, your day-to-day eating habits, your day-to-day movement patterns? There's obviously a nice way to talk to somebody, but it's also showing somebody love by saying, I see more in you. I see more in us as a couple, as a friends. I want to be the best influence for you, and I want to see us level up. And I see this in my own relationships. It's, encouraging my husband to pack his lunch, or me taking the time to pack his lunch in the mornings, a healthy meal with protein as a focus, and things that are going to fill him up rather than going out to eat, like many people choose to do, going out to eat, going to the lunchroom that has all these preservatives and empty carbs that are just going to leave you wanting more and more. That is the system we live in. And as for relationships, this is not just going to level up your own personal self, your own personal life, but it's your own relationship that's going to improve from this, guys. Wanting more and being more together as a team, whether that's your relationship, your friend, your community, etc. And if you made it this far in this series, or you follow similar like-minded people with the same message of wanting more and more, the better for your communities, the better for yourself, your spouse, your kids, the next generation. You are that person that is asking these questions and wants more and wants to see more. And I really want you to look at your current relationships in your life. We've looked at our day-to-day habits personally, but what about those around you and how that's influencing you? For me, the diet is such a huge thing because you can't out-train a poor diet. And yes, there's times that we get takeout, life gets busy, or we do something that's already pre-made to heat it up. Yes, nobody's perfect on that front. I'm not going to pretend to be, but being that influence and taking the lead on making protein-rich meals, prioritizing those things, prioritizing the time to get the groceries, spend the time and the money on the healthier options rather than going the convenience route, because we are so big on convenience, as we've talked about in previous videos here in America. But really, it's the support aspect too, guys. I mean, obviously we can talk about accountability and how other people can offer that, but it's also the support. It's also going on the flip side of you wanting more for other people, but also them wanting that for you. Does your spouse want to see you grow and thrive? And this isn't going to be, relationship advice by any means, getting into those things, but this is more, you got to look at, are they supporting you as well? And being clear about your intention on, what do I want to see for myself? As we've started this series talking about where am I at currently, being radically honest on that, where we want to be and how we're going to get ourselves there in a sustainable fashion. And you have to be willing to have that conversation with your spouse, with your family, your inner circle, guys. Telling your friends like, hey, I want to lose weight, for real. I'm making the lifestyle change. I'm not, going out drinking with you guys. I hope you're cool with that. If not, You know, it is what it is. It's for my health and wellness. And that is so important. I really want you to think about, are your friends supportive of you? Or have you had that conversation? If you're really, really real about making that long-term lifestyle change, are you willing to have that conversation of, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, I'm not going to eat all the desserts that we normally bring and put forth. You know, I might have a few bites and whatnot. Oh, is something wrong with the pie? No, no, Grandma, nothing's wrong with the pie. I'm really making a lifestyle change. And if they're not okay with that, you know, it is what it is. Your health is more important. And you should want to have people in your corner that are going to support you in those. And more importantly, for those people to be inspired by that. Because even if they don't say it, even if they don't show it, they are. When you show that discipline and you have that conversation or make that stance that I ain't about this, or I'm making these changes to better me in the long run and prioritizing my health for my family, my friends, those around me, the work that you put in, it's going to show. It's going to take a little bit of time. You're not going to get that pat on your back sometimes with the support and whatnot, guys. But being the accountability for yourself and being the support for yourself, sometimes you do have to show up for yourself. But it starts with you being radically honest with those things, and therefore having to be radically honest with those around you and communicating those things, being clear. If you and your spouse are, or the person that you're living with, or if you have a roommate, etc., if you guys are constantly going out to eat and they're bringing home takeout and that is the norm for you guys, you got to have that conversation of support and what you need. As a personal trainer, guys, we learn about the psychology behind making the health changes. And you know what's huge? Accountability and support. If you go 0 to 180 and you don't talk to anybody about it and you don't have that conversation on your intentions and what you're wanting to do with your health and wellness, it's going to be very, very hard, because we need those things, guys. We need to have people in our corner. You know, it's not the spouse saying, are you sure you want to eat that? Obviously, it's that all or nothing mindset we talked about before, guys, where it's the small steps like, hey, let's go on a walk together. Okay, so we did eat dessert. We did have a bigger meal for Thanksgiving. Instead of sitting around and watching TV and whatnot, let's go on a family walk. I got 4 layers on, guys. I just got my movement in for the day. It's cold, but guess what? I feel better. And the cold air, a little bit of cold air in the face is good for you. And not everybody's going to be cool with that. On the accountability and the support part, you're not always going to get that. It's unfortunate. It's sad. But people are going to make their choices at the end of the day. But to obtain that long-term lifestyle sustainable change, guys, having the accountability and support is what's going to keep you going. It's part of that lifestyle change. Making sure that not just you, but those around you are on the same page and are on the same path. Some people, they are cool with doing the bare minimum. They are okay with eating the same foods. I've had people straight up tell me to my face when I say, oh, I'm avoiding that or doing this a little different. They look at me in the face and they say, I don't care. Everything's poison and I'm gonna die anyways. I've been told that several times. Cool. I'm not judging you. I just ask that you don't judge me either, and that you support and respect my choices. And that is also very important with your inner circle, guys. If you're on the same page and somebody still likes to do a lot of compromise on, oh, well, today sucked and it was busy, so I'm gonna order the takeout, or it's just 1 or 2 drinks, or I'm gonna go out with my buddies, or choose to eat the food that's gonna drain me rather than fuel my new goals and whatnot. That's their decision. Just as it is your decision to show up for yourself and support others around you who are wanting to do the same things, but also being very careful with those that you surround yourself with in regards to your accountability and support systems. Because it's gonna really be the biggest factor in that long-term lifestyle change of those that are around you that are, they're intent and deep down, they want to see you win. But they're also inspired by your actions, and you want to do it together as a team. That's how we're going to create lasting change in our society, guys. Personal excellence and wanting more for yourself, for those around you, for the next generation. I personally, I don't do well with the bare minimum type people who aren't open-minded about learning about ways to level up in their health and wellness in any part of their life. That's just not my cup of tea. And I'm a very graceful person, and this is not tooting my own horn, but extending grace to those who have very different circumstances than myself. And maybe that's because I want to be clear that I have been to a third world country where the people that I've interacted with during my time there and in the Middle East in my little bit of time there, they would give everything to be able to have the opportunities we have. The cell phone, this tablet, the screen that you're watching this on, the access to information, and online communities, guys. There's obviously pros and cons to social media. I'm fully aware of that. But having that community of support and seeing that specifically in women in the space of pregnancy, postpartum, going through hard times, whatever your situation may be, loss and heartbreak and hitting rock bottom sometimes, but having other women who have been through similar circumstances or who are just simply following along and want to see you win. So yes, of course you can find a community online that has support and accountability. I think that those things are amazing and needed, but being out in reality in the real world and looking at your inner circle and your relationships, and not just, as we talked about in previous videos, your day-to-day lifestyle habits, guys, that we talked about, your mental and emotional well-being, your all or nothing mindset, struggling with discipline, all of these things that are playing a factor in us starting over in January, which is less than 30 days away, less than a month away. You know, come January, people are going to have the all or nothing mindset. People who are mentally and emotionally, physically burnt out already by their habits and their current situation. People who are wanting to lean on motivation for, I'm really going to do it this year, guys. This is my time. I'm going to go to the gym 5-6 days a week. I'm going to cut out all these foods. I'm going to do this all by myself, and I'm going to pat myself on the back, and that's really going to change this time. And then come January 15th, the 2 Mondays after that, of the all or nothing mindset, the lack of discipline, the burnout, because you're going to the gym from 0 to 1 times a week to 5 to 6 times a week, you're going to say, whew, this is too much. We're going to get into our head, and we're going to start this very unfortunate cycle of beating ourselves up, calling ourselves failures, not leaning on the discipline, but rather leading into motivation and that inner B voice I like to talk about, and we fail. Whether that is in January, that is, ooh, I'll start on Monday, ooh, I'll start next month, or after this situation changes, or after this relationship is resolved, or the perfect scenario comes in, that's when I'm going to start, and that's when I'm going to do the dang thing. And friends, that is why we are failing as women to lead to that long-term lifestyle change, to hit our goals, whether that's in your health and wellness, whether that is in work, whether that is in a relationship, a physique goal, etc. All of these things tie into why we are failing, why we continue to fail, and why we as a nation, speaking for Americans, are struggling with the burnout, the mental aspect of things. Whether, you know, you might look like crap on the outside, but what's going on the inside too? Because sure, you can't out-train a poor diet, but you won't be able to out-train if you are, again, burnt out, you're beating yourself up. And that's where we have to place emphasis on the long-term lifestyle, sustainable changes that are going to lead to what you are wanting for in life, for yourself, for those around you, for the next generation. I really encourage you to evaluate your current situation, your current inner circle, specifically for this reason, guys, your support and accountability circle, if you have any in your life. Some of us don't. Sometimes you are going to be on the lonely path where it feels like it's just you versus the world. I promise, if not now, it's going to happen to you. And it may suck in the meantime. It may feel impossible, but friend, let me encourage you, that's when the real work happens. You're like a diamond being chipped and formed into this beautiful, sparkly, brand new creation. When you choose momentum, small habits, small wins throughout your days, small things that people do when you surround yourself with people that are supportive and provide real, genuine accountability for wanting the best for you. That's when the real magic happens. You may not see it right away. You may not see that beautiful, sparkly diamond. It might take years. It might take a decade or so. But if you're willing to put in the work and surround yourself with people and be mindful of the time that you're spending with people, it's a beautiful thing. And yes, again, social media and people that you surround yourself, the people that you follow on social media is another factor that we could get into. But I really want you to consider the real world, because this phone, the screen, the social media that you have, those things are temporary and there are limitations to those things. Can you have a conversation with your loved one, the person around you, and say, hey, this is really what I see for myself, for us as a couple. What do you think about this? What do you think about keeping takeout to just maybe Friday nights or something when we're both exhausted, the kids, work, etc., whatever's going on in your lives? Let's start with that. And I want to work on us meal prepping together on Sundays. I want to work on, could you take the kids so that I could get to the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then I try to get movement in at home when I'm able. Am I able to take a step back in this area and lean on you in this area to help me grow? But you have to be willing to have that conversation, and you have to be willing to be diligent and be able to look closely at those things around you, the people around you. You have to be willing to say no and set boundaries. And if those people aren't in your future, or they're not cool with the higher up version of you and your health and wellness, then those probably aren't your people. Again, a lot of people are cool with the bare minimum, going out on the weekends, working the same job for a long period of time, hanging out with the same people, doing the same things. And that's okay. But when you're willing to have the conversation about your intention and your wants and your desires, and you are now past those people on certain things, or you're just on a completely different page, we have to be willing to accept that. And we have to be willing to walk the lonely path. We have to be willing to be open and go up to somebody who, I met somebody at a previous work function, and this guy, I think he has some stuff up his sleeve. Pretty wealthy guy, dressed normal, but once we started diving into conversation, he asked me about my previous corporate experience, and I asked him about, okay, where do you work currently? And I think this guy is one of those who lives a very simple lifestyle, but he's got plenty in the bank, if you could say that. And just his comments on, he had said, I went on a date. I could go on a spiel for days, but I'll keep it short. He went on a date. He's older too, and with this woman, and she was on her phone, and he said that he made a comment about seeing another younger couple and family, all with devices in their faces. And he said, if you had your phone in front of me while you were on your phone while being in front of me during this conversation, it's just that's not how you connect with people. That is not how you network, especially in the business world and sales, which is something we were talking about. And guys, it's seeing that like-mindedness and being open and honest with what you want. Like me, I want to meet new people. That motivated me to network a little bit more, and being able to, just go up to somebody, shake their hand, say, what do you do for a living? Get to know strangers and get connected to more people, because This guy, he had a lot of sales experience in two very different industries, and was able to shed some light to me on him seeing social media and podcasts, how people stream news and music, how that's evolved in that specific industry and whatnot. But again, it's coming down to who's in your inner circle, to where this was a work function with a friend starting a business, and this guy was there who was his neighbor, and I was willing to go up and say, "Hi, what's your name?" "I'm Michaela. I work in personal training space, health and wellness. What do you do for a living? Tell me about, oh, you worked for this industry as well that was connected to the industry that I previously worked for. What's your thoughts on that?" And guess what? He got my business card, guys. This man's got a lot of connections and is willing to show me that support and show me some accountability on, he's able to talk about our generation with social media and screens and all the like. And I don't know, it just got me fired up just talking about it. And that goes to show being able to be honest with where you're at and where you want to be, friend. If you want to do the bare minimum, if you are cool with where your life is at, genuinely at your core, if you are okay with where you are at and you are doing XYZ and you are cool with working the same job and whatnot, that's fine. But if you want to level up, if you want to reach more health and wellness goals, your fitness, lose the weight for good, look at those around you. Look at how you're speaking about yourself and how you're speaking to other people, and what picture of yourself that you're presenting to other people. And that might be, I am nowhere near where I want to be, but friend, this is where I want to get, and this is what I'm going to do. And it may be different than our current situation, than what the version of me that you're used to. But this is what I'm wanting. And being honest with yourself and being honest with those around you. I apologize, it's very cold if I'm leaking from my nose, but guys, I just want you to evaluate each of these things that we talked about, relying on momentum rather than motivation, focusing on those small wins rather than the all or nothing mindset that we talked about. It can't be all or nothing. It's got to be small, actionable, achievable steps. It has to be building discipline. It's a skill. You got to work on it. You have to be diligent on that. You have to look at your mental and emotional well-being. And again, that ties into attainable steps. If you are already burnt out with what you are currently doing, we need to be radically honest with small changes that we can make in our day-to-day habits that are going to lead to the big change. And finally, your support and accountability systems, guys. Evaluate those, evaluate what's around you, and see the small changes that you can make in your relationships and those around you to better yourself. Because guess what? There's only one of you, and your health matters. I believe in you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this series. I really appreciate it, and I've loved talking about these things. I look forward to diving into more health and wellness talk with women and launching a few things as well I'm really excited about. So tune in, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.